Will the Rise of Skywalker satisfy the fandom? This question was basically asked to Daisy Ridley during an interview on People TV. She was asked to rate how satisfied she believed fans would be with the ending of The Rise of Skywalker on a scale of 1 to 10. And to be honest, that's hilarious to me. But let's think about that question. Will the ending of The Rise of Skywalker make the entire fandom happy? I think the obvious answer is no. No, it won't. That's normal, and Star Wars will never please everyone. People may truly believe that The Last Jedi started heated debates surrounding Star Wars, that movie is the one that destroyed everything. But that's not the case. I grew up hearing the same exact complaints since the prequels have come out. With that said, I do think what Daisy Ridley had to say is interesting. Rather than giving the ending a numerical value, which is pointless, she said that she believes the ending will be very satisfying, and that what they were doing in the moment felt right. They had a good feeling about it on set. Even Oscar Isaac himself reflected upon the ending of the film in another interview, calling it epic. He also said that it will be incredibly fulfilling. The more we find out about the making of this film, the more I find myself excited to see JJ finish off what he has begun. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about how The Rise of Skywalker has had a much different approach than The Force Awakens. There is the whole aspect of editing on set, which I already have a video about, but that's really neat to hear about. Even if it did happen for a few scenes in The Last Jedi, I like collaboration on set. J.J. Abrams said during The Force Awakens that he felt beholden to what Star Wars was. And that's why The Force Awakens felt and looked really familiar. But honestly, I still think The Force Awakens had to be made the way it was to kick everything off. And as far as I'm concerned, The Phantom Menace used the same exact formula. Now with JJ back closing it all out, which was never ever even supposed to happen, he's been on record saying that he doesn't feel beholden to what Star Wars ought to be anymore. He said the whole process on this film feels renegade for him now, and he's just going with what feels right. I love this approach to The Rise of Skywalker. Let one's instincts guide the creative rather than a horde of voices yelling at you about what should happen. This is the approach Rian Johnson took with The Last Jedi, and as far as I'm concerned, it worked. It's not the most perfect movie of all time. No, it isn't. But it feels authentic and new, and at the same time familiar. And also, super weird. So will The Rise of Skywalker leave me completely fulfilled as a Star Wars fan? Honestly, I have no idea. I've seen 60 seconds of a movie out of context. I'm sure based on my feelings towards the previous two films, that I will generally like what happens in the final movie. My hope is that J.J. Abrams truly is exploring the story in a new way and won't dive too heavy into fan service for the sake of wrapping up the entire saga. We don't need another cantina scene because that's what Star Wars would do, and I'm really curious to see how J.J. Abrams finishes something. I think The Rise of Skywalker should still be a unique story in its own right, while finishing off the Skywalker saga with a delicate hand. I don't think it really needs to be heavy-handed in how it connects to the past to tie up the saga, but I also understand the importance of acknowledging the past. So I'm curious how you all feel about how J.J. Abrams is approaching The Rise of Skywalker, and if you feel that The Rise of Skywalker will be a fulfilling end to the entire story. Leave your thoughts below. May the Force be with you. AT is signing off.